Good afternoon, students. How are you? I hope you all are fine and staying home to keep yourself safe from COVID 19. Here, we are going to start chapter Globalization and the Indian economy. So, in this module, we are going to mainly discuss about what is globalization or concept of globalization. So, let us start. Here, definition you can see what is globalization. So, globalization is the word used to describe the growing interdependence. Interdependence, you can understand that one means different countries depend on each other of the world economies, cultures, and populations brought about by cross border trade in goods and services, technology, and flow of investment, people, and information. So see nowadays how in number of ways the world economies are interconnected, interdependent. Usually we use the word goods and services. Along with this goods and services, technologies, flow of investment, people, and information. These are also shared. People go from one country to another country. These people go from one country to another country, of course, in search of job and shelter. Investment, so that investment is done by the different companies. Technologies of different companies, different countries shared in the form of goods and services of different type. Variety of services are there, like bank services there, the BPOs are there. So number of services can be there. So let us see some more detail. As here this diagram is showing, the countries of the world depends on each other for their different needs. So the next question comes to your mind, that is, why is globalization? Okay, globalization, we understand ki what is globalization, but why is it needed? So that globalization is because of improved transport made it global travel easier. Actually, this globalization is required for the trade purpose, trade of different commodities, as in the previous slide we saw. So this globalization is become possible, means is became possible, you can say it became possible because of this improved transport. For example, there has been a rapid growth in air travel, enabling greater movement of people and goods across the globe. So nowadays you know that the people and goods moving from one country to another country by two ways that are mainly the airways and waterways. Now, one more reason became which made the globalization possible. Containerism, containerization. In history part you may have studied that from 1970s there was a rapid adoption of the steel transport container, and this reduced the cost of intermodal transport intermodal transport from one place to another place, making trade cheaper and more efficient. What is this containerization? You can see here. This containerization is a system of standardized transport that uses a common size of a steel container. Here in this picture you can see the steel containers to transport goods. These containers can easily be transferred between different modes of transport. Containers shipped to lorries and trains, and this make the transport and trade of goods cheaper and more efficient. Here given that it was invented by 19 means invented in 1956 by Macaulay MacLean, an American truck businessman. So this is a short information about here given that 90% of non-bulk goods are carried in containers. Carried in containers, and 27% of containers originate from China, the world's largest exporter of manufactured goods. So now you know what is the condition of China. Next is the improved technology. Improved technology which makes easier to communicate and share information around the world. Example, internet, For example, to work on improvements on site business, on site this website, I will go to a global online community like elance.com. There people from any country can bid. Elance is there, freelance is there, number of websites are there. So there any means people can from any country can bid for their right to provide a service. It means that I can often find people to do a job relatively cheaply because labor costs are relatively lower in Indian subcontinent. So there are number of countries and cost of labor is varying country to country, and when all the labor all the skilled people are available on one platform like these elance website, then of course there will be a good competition, and the countries who can, means who offer their services at cheap rate, so they will be providing the cheap services to the required people, so that way the person can get cheap service because of this improved technology, and that way the number of countries are interlinked to each other. So this way improved technology playing important role. Now growth of multinational companies with a global presence in many different countries made it possible. The globalization. Ki unless these multinational companies are ready to go from one country to another country for setting up their business unit or for trading the different commodities, this was not possible, or you can say quite impossible. Growth of global trading blocks, which have reduced the national barriers. What is trading blocks? So let us see what is trading blocks. So these trading blocks are a group of countries who form trade agreements between themselves. So there would be number of countries making an group and agreements, and trading blocks can include what kind of agreement? The free trade area among them, between their countries, whatever that group they have met, custom union and single market. So let's see what are there. In free trade area, no tariff between members, no external tariff, no negotiative own trade deals. Then here no tariff, no border check, common external tariff. So trade deals for whole custom union. So see, here's different similar facilities they are providing to each other's countries, and that way they are, by making these trading blocks, they are making the trade between them, among them, easier and faster, and that way growth of trading blocks reduced the national barriers, and that became faster and wider. Reduced tariff barrier, which encouraged the global trade. Often this has occurred through the support of WTO. What is WTO? So WTO is that World Trade Organization responsible for dealing with the rules of trade between nations at a global or near global level. This WTO helps to resolve conflicts between nations and provide forum for agreeing over trade agreements and their implementation. So whatever rules regulations required for good flow of trade between the countries, that is maintained by this WTO. The aim of WTO is to help trade flows as freely as possible, except where free trade conflicts with other objectives such as environmental or legal. So wherever any country's issues are coming, legal and environmental, there some restrictions are put by the countries. Otherwise, there is free trade among the countries, and this is maintained by the WTO rules regulations. firm exploiting firm exploiting gains from economies of scale to gain increased specialization. By this term you can understand कि when the firm specialized their work, कि a single firm is producing a single type of good, then they are specialized in that category. And when they are having a specialization and they increase the scale of production, so as much as they increase the scale of production, the cost of production decreases. And this is firm exploiting gains from economies of scale. Economies of scale means increasing the size of scale, getting economies, savings, reduction in cost. So that also improved the globalization. Growth of global media. So global media also played important role in providing the different type of information to the people for running such kind of business and trade activities all over the world. Global trade cycle. So economic growth is global in nature, means countries are increasingly interconnected. Why? Because all the countries are not fortunate to produce all types of goods and not fortunate having all types of natural resources, and because of this they are interdependent for those goods and services which they are not able to produce in their country or which naturally they don't have in their country. So that way they are interconnected, and there is a global cycle formed due to this kind of interconnection, that one country is influenced by any kind of economic downfall or improvement, all the countries are affected by that. Here example given, the recession in one country affect the global trade, invariable cause an economic downturn in major trading partners. So whichever countries are related, means related with that country's trade activities, so they will be of course influenced by that recession. In one recession is that downfall of economy, or you can say decrease in production of goods and services for a short period of time. Financial system increasingly global in nature. Financial system also slowly becoming global. When US banks suffered losses due to subprime mortgages crisis, it affected all major banks in other countries who had bought financial derivatives from US banks and mortgage companies. So if one bank is suffering from any kind of problem, so all other countries' banks are also influenced by that, affected by that. Improved mobility of capital. In the past few decades, there has been a general reduction in capital barriers. Capital barrier, whatever goods are. Goods means machines are imported or exported. So the barriers whichever put over there, when that are reduced, making the goods movement easier for capital to flow between countries, between economies, and this has increased the ability of firm to receive finance. See, capital can be considered both working capital and fixed capital. So, goods and finance both. It has also increased the global interconnectedness of global financial market. So nowadays, number of banks, the financial markets are interlinked all over the world, and you can invest, you can borrow by being in one country from another country. So increased the mobility of labor also, improved the globalization, are made possible the globalization. The people are more willing to move between different countries in search of work wherever they are finding the better earning opportunities. So global trade remittances now play a large role in transfer from developed countries to developing countries. What are remittances? So let us see this. That remittances are that earnings of the people who are doing job in foreign countries and they are sending their earning to their families. A remittance is a transfer of money, often by a foreign worker, to an individual in their home country. So, money sent home by migrant competes with international aid as one of the largest financial inflows to developing countries. Recently, the World Bank reported that migrants working in developed economies sent a record breaking level of remittances back to their developing world. So, as example, in 2012, the World Bank estimates that migrant workers sent 406 billion in saving to their families in developing countries, and this again increased, and now these remittances were three times greater than aid budget to the developing world. Means it is looking whatever the budget, additional budget, means you can say the deficit budget created of the developing countries, that is three times lesser, are these remittances are three times higher than the developing countries deficit budget. Internet also played important role. So this enabled firm to communicate on global level. This may overcome managerial diseconomies of scale. Managerial diseconomies of scale means if the company is working globally and if we want to manage it, they want to manage it. For that, they need to keep different managers, officials in different countries for controlling all the works done in these different countries. But if the internet is there, with the help of internet facility, Online informations are shared quickly, instantly, and that way the information, observation, supervision, all these are done online. And now this way they are able to reduce their cost by reduction in staff workers. So the firm may be able to get cheaper supplies by dealing with a wider choice of firm. Consumers are also able to order more goods online. Example, Dell computers take order online and can meet customer specification. Means how is globalization taking place? So until the middle of the 20th century, production was largely organized within the countries we know. But what crossed the boundaries of these countries were raw material, foodstuff, and finished product. Colonies such as India exported raw material and foodstuff and imported finished goods. So this way, here in this form, globalization started. Export of raw material, import of finished goods, and that time the colonies of different countries made it possible, as India was colony of British. Trade was the main channel connecting distant countries. This was before large companies called multinational corporation emerged as one of on the scene. One on the scene means here means they came in front to make it possible globalization. And you know that MNC is a company that owns or controls production in more than one country. MNCs set up offices and factories for production in regions where they can get cheap labor and other resources. This is done so that cost of production is low and MNC can earn greater profit. So let us see example. Here one example is seen: spreading of production by an MNC. What is? It is given in your book also. As here, a large MNC producing industrial equipment design its product in a research center in the United States and then has the component manufactured in China. So see, United States has the good research centers. China is having cheap labor facility. So that way components are manufactured in China. Raw material is available at cheap rate in China. So these are then shipped to Mexico and Eastern Europe where the products are assembled. So good engineers are available in these countries. So there it is assembled. The finished products are sold all over the world. So meanwhile, the company's customers care is carried out through call centers located in India. And as you know that India is having the good English spoken people, so that way call centers located in India. This is a call center Bengaluru equipped with this images, a call center equipped with telecom facilities and access to the internet to provide information and support to customer abroad. So this way see how they are busy in their work in the call center. So what you have seen in this example, okay, that production is done in number of countries of the different stages of production. So in this example, MNC is not only selling the finished product globally, but more important, the goods and services are produced globally. And as a result, production is organized in increasingly complex ways. The production process is divided into small parts and spread out across the globe, which you saw here. And by all these, they try to find cheap and best facilities wherever available. Best why? Because if they would have assembled the product in China only, there would be possibility of that not getting the as quality engineers are available in Mexico and Eastern Europe countries. So this way, they diversified, or you can say they spread their different type of work in different countries as per their cheap and best facility available. So this is the benefit of globalization, and MNCs are working in such way. And all this probably can mean that 50 to 60% cost saving for the MNC, and the advantage of spreading out production across the border to the multinational can be truly immense. And you can understand how good profit they would be generating by this. Thank you, students. This was all about today's topic. Here we mainly discuss about the what is globalization and how globalization could possible, why this globalization was made, you can say why it took place, this globalization. So here, whatever topic discussed, please read and revise in your textbook. So in the next module we'll meet. Thank you. Have a nice day.